Hey, howdy, how's it going? Basically, before I get into anything, if you don't want to listen to me talk about every single thing that I'm going to be talking about in the cons and pros and cons and all that of Modern Warfare 3, then you can skip right to this timestamp and you will just get the TLDR basically. You're welcome. And if you're wondering how that works, I suggest using the chapters feature right down here. I'm hoping that I do it this time because last time I suggested doing it, I didn't put it right away, and I bet like 2 people who had watched were like, what the hell, my chapters feature isn't there. But anyways, one other thing before I continue, you're here, might as well consider subscribing. It is a free thing that you can do, and it's always optional to, decline. That's quite literally all I ask. Skill-based matchmaking. It's still a thing, even in the beta for Modern Warfare 3. It ruined Modern Warfare 2, especially for casual players like even my parents that play. And it ruined Modern Warfare 2019, which is the Modern Warfare for the reboot, whatever. It ruined Modern Warfare 2019 as well, and it also ruined Cold War. Have you ever wondered why it takes so long to queue into a game after popping off the one that you were just in prior? It's because it's trying to find people who are of similar skill level to you, and it's not trying to find the best internet connection, basically, or best ping for yourself for the game. Your ping actually gets worse because it's not looking for your best connection or what's best for you. It's actually just trying to find every best player to put you against and not have on your team, literally ever. Engagement-based matchmaking. A theory that the matchmaking is supposed to have you lose sometimes and win other times. Basically a very hostile way of trying to just keep you enclosed in this certain space where you can't win too much, lose too much, because it wants you to keep playing. It's very, there's a word for it that's not coming to my mind, but it's predatory. That's the word. It's predatory. It's awful, and no one likes it in the game. Overwatch 2 has this, and you can tell because the first couple games that you play in a game like Overwatch 2 is purely just you shitting on the other team, and then after a couple more games, you happen to get people who aren't as good on your team. You have to go against people who are pretty good in general on the other team, and you just get demolished after that, and it's really boring. Now, I don't fully understand it, but some theories are out there that basically for engagement-based matchmaking, if you buy things in the shop, specifically for people who are not as good, they get even easier lobbies because they were buying things in the shop. I don't know if this was proven. I never looked into this because, well, to be honest, engagement-based matchmaking kind of makes sense for my first point, but for the easier lobbies for buying stuff at the shop, people would have debunked this really easily because a lot of people I know probably tested this. Skill-based damage. This is sometimes confused with the fact that you are in a lobby with shit ping or just have a shit connection in general, but this implies that your bullets aren't connecting with where you're shooting. Basically implying that like sometimes you're gonna die and that's okay, but when it starts to happen irregularly maybe it's like you're using a one-shot sniper, it one-shots everywhere and you hit someone and it doesn't kill them. That's basically skill-based damage in a way. Typically this is in place when a really bad player is in your lobby, either they're on your team or the other team, and to the other team, if they're on yours, sorry I made that confusing, they do more damage to them and they take less damage, and even if they are on the other team to you, you can't do as much damage to them, and they do more damage to you. It's not a perk or anything that they have on or that they're given for being shit at the game. It's literally skill-based damage because the game recognizes that they're not supposed to be in that lobby. And most of the time this tends to happen when you queue with friends or other people, and it doesn't matter when. For most modes that are regular TDM, quick play, whatever you call it, this is something that happens. Now, I have never really encountered this myself. There are a lot of times where I have it where shots just don't connect and I'm very confused. But at the same time, when I would play, Modern Warfare 2 at least, I would run it on my computer. And Modern Warfare 2 on the PC just runs very poorly for computers that aren't super high-end. Mine's mid-tier, I guess. The time to kill, or TTK. Basically, it didn't change. Your health may be increased, but the guns do more damage to equate for that. And the only issue that happens regardless, but is more prevalent, is that people like to group up. You basically increase your health by having 1 or 2 people by you, because if you die, there are 2 other people who take just as long to die for them to react to it. This does happen even when there isn't a very high, or whatever you call it, for having health increase for the TTK. So basically, if there was lower health, it still wouldn't matter. People do this regardless, but to what a lot of people have experienced, especially with Call of Duty, when your health is really high, this is something that a lot of them do because they can just steamroll. It doesn't matter what team it is. If they're doing it, it works. Snipers. So many times it just won't, I can't one-shot the upper body. It doesn't matter which one I've used. You get hit markers galore basically with, only hitting, I guess, their finger, and for some reason it counts as a shot. And yes, we all know that the devs or whoever talked about how shooting different parts of your body makes your damage vary. But let's be honest, it should be upper body, lower body, and headshots, not arm shots or foot shots. Because even if it was frustrating in older CODs to die to someone melting your foot with an SMG, it didn't matter because you could do the same exact thing. And even with like a sniper, for example, that was guaranteed a one-shot no matter what part of the body you hit, it did the damage. I don't understand what the problem was there. But even in a game that tries to be realistic, like Rainbow Six Siege, you have the ability to die by someone shooting you 4 times in the toe through a drone hole. People saying, it's just a beta. When time and time again, every beta for a Call of Duty is the exact same, plus a few balance changes. And that's sometimes. The time from the beta to the actual release of the game doesn't really let the devs or anyone get all their intel from their stats, to player feedback, to streamers' feedback, to what the devs think. So what you see in the beta is what you get mostly. It's obvious that you don't get to see every weapon or every ability or every kill streak, but they eventually balance the really broken ass glitchy shit that is in the beta. That's why they put it there. The beta is testing you. They just want to see if this thing is broken or not. And they don't put in the other shit because they don't care. I have no idea where to put this, so I'll just put it in the middle of this. Sledgehammer Games made Advanced Warfare, World War II, and Vanguard, all of which got zombies. And let's be honest, no one who is a legit zombies fan is happy about DMZ zombies. And yes, I use Mr. Dalek JD's clip. But the games they helped with making is Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare. I couldn't find which one exactly, but either way, I don't think it matters. Sledgehammer is good at making a fast-paced game, but even some YouTubers agree that when Sledgehammer does something with the game, it's basically never going to change. It doesn't even matter if it's something the community wants. They'll never take it out. They'll never remove it. Unless it's literally game-breaking, it's never taken out. Or changed. Whatever. All these buzzwords. Everyone knows this at this point, but I shall sum it up for you. Alright, Modern Warfare 2 came out last year on October 28th, 2022. And everyone, and I mean everyone, more or less a lot of fucking people, basically we're all in agreement that Modern Warfare 2 was going to be a 2-year cycle. There's a lot of stuff that said this game was gonna be a 2-year cycle. I remember seeing it. It's not any bit of those, things where, how do you explain it? Like the cosmic brownies, like there was the line, now there isn't the line, shit like that. It's not this sort of effect. This was real, trust me, but basically we would have gotten a whole extra year's worth of content or DLC. Whether we needed to pay was to be determined, and to be honest, for a game like this, I would pay if it was going to be fucking worth it. But someone who really isn't in the know, my dad, was like, didn't they say that it was going to be a 2-year cycle? When I had told him that they just announced Modern Warfare 3. And I remember because he looked at me and was like, what? But Modern Warfare 3 is coming out on November 10th of 2023. In like literally a month. This is basically 1 year apart by like a couple days or a week, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So all the people who believed that spending the initial $70 or, like myself, put $100 for the Vault Edition of Modern Warfare 2 thought that they were going to get 2 years worth of content and it was going to be worth the $100. Then randomly, there were leaks that Modern Warfare 3 was being worked on. And then they announced it. Here's the problem. People who bought Modern Warfare 2 aren't even given compensation, like not a small discount since it's kind of literally the same game. Like no, you don't understand. Someone who is looking through the code of Modern Warfare 3 and comparing it to Modern Warfare 2 literally said it's almost the exact same game. And not because it was on the same engine. And you may have those people where arguing is like their hobby. And some people, they're going to defend and say, well, it's on the same engine using the same servers or, this. They're not really going to change much. You don't understand. Usually when a game goes from second to third or whatever, obviously we had Modern Warfare 2 in like 2009 or whatever and Modern Warfare 3. But the thing about that was that you got everything that you paid for in that game. And there was new things in that game, new things to do, new prestiges, new things to show off, new maps. That's one of the important things to note. New maps were going to be in each game corresponding. Look at Modern Warfare 3. It has Modern Warfare 2 maps in Modern Warfare 3. Now granted, you can make somewhat of an excuse saying that, well, the maps, you know, it's a different timeline, it's a reboot. It doesn't matter. Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 2 should have the Modern Warfare 2 maps like it was supposed to. Modern Warfare 3 should have those maps and ones that it comes up with on its own. Most of the time when the devs or whoever fucking makes new maps, they suck ass besides like one map. Like in Modern Warfare 2, we got fucking border crossing. No one in their right mind ever enjoyed that. Obviously, one straight lane is enjoyable, but not when there's 80,000 fucking cars. So Activision literally just used Modern Warfare 2 as a social experiment because they were just able to. I don't even know. But popular creators like Courage and Marksman, they play a lot of Call of Duty. They may not play it now. Marksman definitely does. But they had said in several different videos that they gave so much feedback with Modern Warfare 2 when it had launched. And even continued to after months and months of playing. And guess what? They did nothing with it. I have a clip here showing that Courage was on the 100 Thieves podcast and talked about how so many things about Modern Warfare 2 were reverted in Modern Warfare 3 to basically market Modern Warfare 3 as a new game. But the issue that not everyone is understanding is that this all could have been one simple fucking update or overhaul, like a 2.0, for most of the games do that now. They do. Alright, one new thing that has come up in the past couple days, something that Jev made a complete video on pretty much, like about 10 minutes or so. It's one of his more recent ones. And in that video, he mentions Exclusive Ace, the Exclusive Ace, whatever. They posted a video explaining or trying to explain the spawns that have to do with Modern Warfare 3. Basically, for some maps, we've only been able to really play like 5, but High Rise in specific, this is the main conversation of Jev's video at least, is that some of the spawns operate not the way that they used to. Now, change is okay, but the problem is, for High Rise in specific, it's explained in the video. I'll probably show like an actual fully fledged clip in a second, but you have A, B, and C flags. Say that your team owns A and B, and the enemy team owns C. Theoretically, and how it's supposed to work, like scientific explanation here, the way that it is supposed to work is that you now own A and B. Your team can spawn there as long as they don't overextend into C, and they just hold it. The enemy should spawn at C every time. But what's happening is if your team owns A and B, the other team owns C, what will happen is that team dies, or your team dies, and you spawn at the opposite flags underneath the map. I just hit my mic. This is new. This isn't exactly a complaint or a pro. I just am putting this in here right now before I completely forget about it. And this is something that will probably get patched. Something I saw around was like World War II had this issue of spawning. They eventually fixed it. And with skill-based matchmaking being in the game, terrible spawns you're going to not want in the game. So they'll patch it eventually. It's just a nitpick, I guess. But it is an issue right now. So hopefully it gets patched in like a month. The game quality. Going from menu to menu feels much better. Granted, it could be because I've been playing on PS5 and in comparison to my shit PC, I guess, you know, the game just takes a monster dump like never now. It used to in Modern Warfare 2, at least for the menus. But for Modern Warfare 3 so far, it's been fine. No frame drops, no server lag, nothing. Server lag, though, I'll be honest, really starts to happen when you're in harsher lobbies with SBMM. If you don't have a new account and you've been playing on the same one, you've been playing a ton of the beta, then you probably have dealt with this. Alright, weapons. I'm including literally everything weapon-based here, so like your lethals, your non-lethals, all that, okay? But the weapons are pretty okay. They have this new mechanic when sliding when you aim. It's canted, it's like a tactical aim or something. It's really annoying because it's not helpful at all. But there is a specific perk or gear that you can put on that makes it so that you can aim in while sliding, so you don't do this tactical aim. Pretty interesting. I like it. I think it works. But obviously, whenever there's any video game out there where you are either fighting real people or bots, there's always a meta. Modern Warfare 3 has a meta. The Striker is very strong. It got nerfed a little, but it's still needs another nerf in my opinion. There are some guns that are just way too fucking strong. And the more that I get into this pro section, it's probably not pros, honestly. There are just a lot of things to talk about, so it's still being marked as pros, but it's really not. Marksman rifles and battle rifles are basically just useless. They don't shoot enough. Obviously, it's a little bit slower. The damage on it is not good enough to equate for the health that the players have in the game now. Something they teased and showed off at the live showcase was basically a new way of changing weapons. Not the gunsmith, but it's like an import or something. I'm literally not even going to look it up. But basically, you can change the Renetti into a full auto SMG, and it gets most of the attachments that you have for the Renetti, plus some other ones. My issue with it is that it kind of gets rid of the use of overkill and just allows you to have something broken. The thing that I have written down in the script, I am not reading out because it is literally just me saying that, I hope that it causes no issues between it thinking that's a different gun for camo grinding and also glitches with it. I know there will probably be a lot of glitches. These games, like even Vanguard had a lot of glitches. I'll show a Wildcat clip right here of him flying into the air because of a thing where you mount on certain walls with a pistol or something like that. I never actually did. I never played Vanguard. But in my opinion, these imports, I feel like will be a little broken. It's kind of similar to how like the new Doom weapon came out. Kind of, it's a skin, whatever. You don't even get Doom Guy. You know, what's with that? I don't get my Doom Guy. But you get his popular shotgun and the giant fucking chainsaw thing that's apparently the pickaxe or whatever this is. I don't understand that. They're both pretty cool, okay? Except it's $18 for just those two things and like a fucking emblem basically and like a charm. That's pointless. But we're not getting into that. The shotgun, when it was added a new attachment for the trigger of this shotgun. It's like the 728 whatever, Olympia, Remington, so many fucking names for these shotguns, man. They keep changing it. But for this shotgun in specific, they added a new one where basically instead of shooting one, it is you shoot all of them at both shots at the same time, both shells, whatever. And if you put the right attachments on with long enough barrels and all that in like Warzone, me and my friend have gone up against this, you will get one tapped. That is so fucking boring and really goddamn obnoxious. Obviously, that's Modern Warfare 2, but I'm hoping stuff like that doesn't, you know, bleed into Modern Warfare. I don't even know why I'm saying that because it's probably going to happen. They're going to put something really stupid like dual wield SMGs, the Akimbo model 1887s. Yes, that's what you call them, not dual wield. But those were really fun. I thought that those were really cool. Stuff like that made you feel like a, you know, old Western man, you know, whatever. Dual wield spicy pistols, you know. But instead of all of that stuff with, you know, attachments and everything, there are new lethals. They have a bomb drone, which in my opinion is basically just a hunter killer drone that, you know, with the way that I used to use it in Black Ops 2, which was I would throw that shit directly at people. I wouldn't throw that into the air. The bomb drone is basically the same way, except you can shoot it and destroy it. The only problem though is it's this super small thing that does not contract aim assist. It is non-aim assistable, so it just flies. I have a clip of it right here from my YouTube video. You can go see that. I'll put it in the description or a link to the video. But for Modern Warfare 3 beta, I had played, and basically I blew up to this fucking thing because I couldn't shoot it. I didn't understand what it was. It was also one of my first times playing. But, you know, in comparison to like a Molotov or frag grenade or, you know, Semtex, it's really fucking annoying. They did, however, this is without, we're not talking about any more lethals, you know, there's claymores, all that shit. Pretty basic stuff. I expect the basic stuff. Recently, for the beta at least, we don't know about the main game, non-lethal, or whatever they call it, the flashbangs got a little bit of a rework, I suppose. They're a little bit more realistic, so if you've played games like CSGO or Valorant, basically if you turn around, you know, face your ass towards the flashbang, you barely notice a single difference in being flashbanged, which is pretty nice. I do like that little bit of realism. It's very tiny, but it's needed, and it makes a lot of sense because, you know, for the very longest time, a flashbang could be directly behind you, go off, and you're completely blind, even though the guy completely missed you, so makes you be a little bit more considerate of where you're throwing flashbangs, and you're not having to deal with any sort of like 9-bang thing from Blackout. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that existed. I don't like that. The gear. This was something that was teased a very long time ago through leaks. Everyone knew that something was coming and perks were being reverted back to the way that they were supposed to be. Perk packages were absolutely dog shit, but your gear is now shoes, gloves, and a type of helmet. it doesn't really make sense. Headphones sometimes, whatever. Dead silence is finally a perk. They nerfed it in Modern Warfare 2019, and they nerfed it in Modern Warfare 2 even more by having it play an audio cue whenever you activated it. At least I believe that's the case. Every time that I played and I used it, it would do this little loud ass fucking screech, and that was not fun at all, because search and destroy or something, people are gonna hear you, man. If you don't understand why people like it as a perk, it basically removes the fact that, people can't just have their headphones turned up to 1000% gain and they can listen to you breathe. So it makes it a little bit more fair. It's more about gunplay, not about just using your goddamn ears. The beta on the first week didn't have ghosts, so UAVs were really strong. But honestly, I don't even care that much since I played mostly respawn. It does make the matches a little bit faster. I do like the fast pace that, Sledgehammer does for their games. I already talked about that. But the second week they added it, and, it works fine. Everything's fine. With the red dots on the map and all that, it works good. At least I think so. Killstreaks / score streaks. I'm not really going to talk about the killstreaks or anything that much, because we didn't really get anything. And we're adding field upgrades a little bit in here, because I didn't talk about it in my last topic. That doesn't really matter. But the field upgrades are pretty much fine. I honestly like a lot of the ones that were in Modern Warfare 2. A lot of them are pretty pointless, though. Like tactical cams and shit like that. People don't really use those. These Guardian turret things from the Incredible Hulk. I don't know if you watch this movie, but this right here, this scene, you see it. But these things will basically take a dump on you. It's really hard to see them, because typically in certain parts of the map, you can actually just stash it in a corner and no one will see it. It is a little annoying to go up against them. Otherwise, it does play the way that it's supposed to play. These things were in Black Ops 2. So, people are used to it. One complaint, minor, is that, kill streaks or score streaks, you can actually change it. In my humble opinion, I would appreciate that if it could just be kill streaks, because granted, getting kills isn't just the only part of the game, but camping the objective and never getting a kill, and then being able to use a chopper gunner, it's probably one of the most annoying fucking things on the planet. But the kill streaks are good. I like all of them pretty much. I don't really use them that much. I use the UAV, counter UAV, the maps. Now, map-wise, maps are pretty good, but it's kind of redundant to say this, because these are maps from Modern Warfare 2 from 2009. If you haven't played these, then you're experiencing them for the first time, somewhat like myself. I feel like I played Modern Warfare 2 like a handful of times at a cousin's house before, like him and I would 1v1 on Rust. Things being made originally for Modern Warfare 3, I do not believe it was said yet or confirmed really at all. I know it's confirmed that the Modern Warfare 2 maps from 2009 are coming to this game's Modern Warfare 3. If you didn't like Modern Warfare 2 in 2009, you're not going to like Modern Warfare 3 now, even if you really like the movement again. But okay, I'll make this part real quick before we get to the TLDR. I skimmed over it a little bit with the CourageJD thing on his, 100 Thieves podcast. A lot of the stuff that was said was basically, to sum up a small portion, I'd suggest going and watching a good bit of it. Basically, a lot of the stuff that's advertised for the game, for Modern Warfare 3, is all the stuff that people have been wanting the whole time. But here's the thing. People, you might have people who will come in and say, Call of Duty players always find a way to complain. Yes. Listen here. Okay. Listen. All of the stuff that people have been asking for with Modern Warfare 2, all of those things, and I had said before that this was just, a social experiment. All the stuff that people wanted for this game, and even games prior, they either kept removing these things, or, like how they're doing now for Modern Warfare 3, they are just adding it all in that game. And you want to know why? It's sales. Modern Warfare 2 was one of the most purchased, it made billions on the first day or something. Here's the problem. For a bit, there's been this thing of they've been losing money because people like my parents, I brought them up, my parents stopped playing the game. If the game was as fun as it was supposed to be, without skill-based matchmaking, if it was without it, the game would be so much better. Skill-based matchmaking is still in the game. That makes people leave. It doesn't matter if you're above average, doesn't matter if you're below, doesn't matter if you're amazing. It is not fun to play skill-based matchmaking. It's not fun to play them when it is not ranked. Quick play, quick match, quick load in, whatever you want to call it, should just be loading peer-to-peer, maybe not peer-to-peer connection, but being on the lowest possible ping and just playing the game. Whoever lives closest to you, pretty much. It doesn't need to be anything like that. One thing I'm going to put out there, normal zombies players. I made a video about it, about DMZ zombies when they had announced it. But normal zombies players, no one wants DMZ zombies. That's one thing that they're also trying to cater to. They're trying to cater to this large audience of people, and they're not going to get some of the ones that they're wanting. But alright, here's your TLDR. Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3 shouldn't have happened, and most of this should have been an update for Modern Warfare 2. This game feels great to play, but everyone knows that the Call of Duty cycle is in full effect for most people. Movement returning is great for some, but annoying for those who hated it, and last but not least, skill-based matchmaking will probably be even heavier for this game, and it will make it so that when you play, you will have the least amount of fun possible. So, there you go. Since you watched either this entire video or skipped right to this point, subscribe. I'm asking again since you already invested time into my channel, so might as well continue, right? And one thing I'll also add here is that skill-based matchmaking is in effect. People have tested it. I'm going to put that out there. Go look for it. I believe Exclusive Ace also tested it. I'll have his channel below and all the channels that I used. And one thing I'll also make sure is that every clip that I use that is not mine, every single YouTube link, because I use YouTube to find these clips, will be linked down below, so you'll just have to skim through it yourself. I'm not going to pinpoint exactly each thing, so there you go. I didn't really have an outro planned. The TLDR basically works as the conclusion this time, and I kind of turned the pros not into like a pro-ish sort of thing, so I hope that doesn't bother your avid watching experience. But anyways, I hope you have a great night, day, morning, weekend, or weekday, and I'm going to go rob a grocery store so I can afford the Vault Edition for this game and every bundle that is in the shop. See you later.